My name is Miss Minnick, and I'm a kindergarten teacher at Inskip Elementary School. Hi, all my Inskippers! I am so excited that I get to spend some time learning with you today. Your teachers miss you and wish they could be in the classroom together. I am so happy that you have chosen to join me in our virtual learning today. Remember, all of the work that goes with this video today can be found online on Canvas, through the Knox County Schools website, or you can pick it up at any of the food distribution locations. If you are on YouTube or on a device, you can try the following. If it is difficult to understand the video, feel free to turn on the closed captions, adjust the speed of the video, pause and watch again, or pause and discuss with someone in your home. Today we're going to review our sight words, listen for words with consonant blends, decode words with consonant blends, and we will be reading, listening, talking, and writing about our story together. Today we will review words that have consonant blends. Remember, a consonant blend is when two sounds are put together. This can happen at the beginning of the word, like in slide. Listen as I sound out the word slide. S-l-I-d, slide, slide. Consonant blends can also happen at the end of words, like in mask. Listen as I sound out the word mask. Ask, ask, mask. Very good. Let's look at this side. Now, we are going to listen as I point to pictures and say the words from the page that begin with consonant blends. Here is a picture of a dress. Now you say it with me. Dress. Do you hear d-er sound at the beginning of the word dress? Yes. Next I see a crib. Now you say it with me. Crib. Do you hear k-er-ib, k-er at the beginning of the word crib? Yes. Say clip. What two sounds do you hear at the beginning of clip? That's right. You hear k-l at the beginning of the word clip. Say frog. What two sounds do you hear at the beginning of the word frog? That's right. F-r-og. F-r. Frog. Very good. Here we have a picture of a glass. What two sounds do you hear at the beginning of glass? That's right. You hear g-l at the beginning of the word glass. Now that we've practiced words that have consonant blends at the beginning of the word, listen as I point to the pictures and say words from the page that have a consonant blend at the end of the word. This is a picture of sand. Now say it with me, sand. Do you hear n-d sounds at the end of the word sand? Yes. Here we have mask. Now say it with me, mask. Do you hear sk sounds at the end of the word mask? Say desk. What two sounds do you hear at the end of the word desk? That's right. You hear sk at the end of the word desk. Here's an extra challenge for you. We said that this is glass, but I was thinking it could also be milk. Say milk with me. Milk. Where do you hear the blend in the word milk? I hear k sounds at the end of the word milk. Very good. Now that we've practiced words with consonant blends, let's look at some words that use these blends. When we look at these words, we can decode them to help us make the different sounds in the word and then blend it together to read the word. Here's our first word. First, let's find the vowel in the word. Yes, A. What sound does A stand for? Ah. Now we're going to go back to the beginning to sound out the word. Sound this word out with me as I point to each letter. K, O, A, P, K, A, P. What's the word? Clap. A clap is when you hit your hands together like this. Very good. Next, let's look at our word right here. Let's find the vowel. Yes, ah. Now let's start at the beginning of the word. Sound it out with me as I point to each letter. K, ab, crab. What's the word? Crab. Yes, a crab is an animal that lives in the water. Moving on. First, let's find the vowel in the word. I see an O. O spells the short O sound, ah. Let's go back to the beginning to sound the word out. Sound it out with me as I point to each letter. Spot, spot. What's the word? Spot. A spot is a small mark that is darker than its surroundings, just like the spot on a ladybug. Our last word is right here. Let's find the vowel. Yes, A, A. Now let's read the word. Trap. Trap. What's the word? Trap. Way to go decoding these words that will be in our reader today. Now that we have decoded words that will be in our reader, we will practice high-frequency words that you will also see while reading today. Let's read these words together. These are words you have already learned during our care time in the classroom. I'm going to start with the word 3 at the top of the chart here. We will learn later about digraphs. We will see the digraph TH in this word. The letters TH work together to spell the sound th. Listen carefully for the th sound as I read this word. 3. Yes, 3. We are going to read the words from left to right, following along with my arrow as we read. Ready, go. 3, 1, 2. Like, can, 1, 3, 2, you. Great job. Now we're going to read these words again, but this time I want you to go a little bit faster. Start with 3 and follow my arrow. Ready, go. 3, 1, 2, like, can, 1, 3, 2, you. Great job, boys and girls. What great readers you are. Today we will read the text, My Words, together. We will be reading and talking about our text. As we are reading today, I want you to listen closely for words with consonant blends. Look at the title of the book or the name of this text. Let's read. My Words. I wonder if the boy in the illustration has learned about new words just like we have. The illustration shows a boy and it looks like he is clapping. Let's read to find out more. Remember, when we read, we track each word with our finger. Today, you can track with me by using the arrow. Point, ready, read. I have 1 cap. Who has 1 cap? Yes, the boy in the text is wearing a cap or a hat. Cap is like Cool app. Cool app. Clap. Can you clap? Oh, I see this right here. It is a question mark at the end of this sentence. So I know the author is asking a question. What is the author asking? Yes, if we can clap. It looks like the boy knows how to clap too. Now we will go to the next page to read. It looks like the boy has traveled to the beach. I wonder what he is pointing to. Let's read together to find out. Ready, point, read. I see one cab. Cab is like crab. 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 Very good. Can you see 3? There's another question mark. What is the author asking us to see 3 of? Yes, 3 crabs. Can you count the crabs? 1, 2, 3. Great reading. Let's move on to page 3. Ready, point, read. I can see one pot. What do you see in the pot? Yes, there are flowers in the pot. Next sentence, pot is like spot. 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 Do you see 2? What does the author see 2 of on this page? Oh yes, 2 spots on the dog. Page 4, last page. Ready, point, read. I can tap. Oh, I see the boy is tapping his finger on the table. Tap is like app. Trap. Trap. Do you see one trap? Uh-oh, I hope that boy doesn't tap too close to the trap there. Thank you, boys and girls. You've done such a great job reading. We would love for you to practice reading this decodable more on your own. Before we move on, let's review what we've practiced so far. We have reviewed consonant blends at the beginning of the word like in slide and at the end of the word like in mask. We've also decoded words with beginning blends, and we've read our decodable text, My Words. Now it's time to listen, talk, and write about our text. We will listen closely to ask and answer questions and retell key details about an animal's adventure in the text, Adventurous Animals. As we read today, we are going to think about adventures that animals can have. This year, we read the book One Little Mouse. In this book, a mouse goes on an adventure to find the best home for himself. Today, we are going to read another story about adventurous animals. While we are reading, I want you to pretend that you are a detective or a sleuth. A detective has to look for clues, ask questions, make your case, and prove how you would solve the mystery. Today, your job is to retell key details about one of the animals and their adventure. Throughout the story, we will look for clues to help us We will ask questions along the way. We will share ideas about what we remember, and then we will prove it with our task to show that we have solved a mystery. Our story today is titled Adventurous Animals. Let's read together. People love adventures. The last few weeks, we have been talking about adventures that people could have. But today, we're going to read about adventures that animals can have. They travel long distances and explore the world. So do some cats and dogs. Sometimes pets travel with their human owners. Other times, they go off on journeys by themselves. In the next part of our story, we are going to read about 3 different animals that go on their own adventure. Let's begin by reading about the first animal's adventure. More than 200 years ago, Meriwether Lewis, William Clark, and their team explored the West from Missouri to Montana to Oregon. Oh, I do remember reading and learning about the Lewis and Clark expedition with Miss Schaefer in week 1. One team member was Lewis's dog. Seaman was a Newfoundland, a large, gentle breed. He was an excellent watchdog. What do watchdogs do? Oh yes, they keep guard and protect their owner. In his journal, Lewis described a bear that came to camp looking for food. Oh, a journal is like a book that you can write in. In that book, he describes a bear that came to the camp. He said, "My dog seems to be in a constant state of alarm with these bears and keeps barking all night." Oh, how do you think Seaman helped the crew by barking? Yes, he protected them and made them aware of the bears around their camp. That was a big adventure for Seaman. Let's look at the illustrations. Can you find the picture of Seaman? I see him right here. I also see him right here with the explorers of the camp. Now let's read about another animal's adventure. Maybe Doug DeShill's dog Moon had heard about Seaman's adventure. She took off on her own western trip. Doug was on a weekend adventure with his 3 dogs. Moon, a Siberian Husky, ran off. Oh, how do you think Doug felt that Moon ran off? I would feel so awful if my dog ran off. I bet he was devastated. After Doug couldn't find her, he drove back to his home in ELA, Nevada. Days later, Doug got a phone call from a vet in town. Moon had been found. Oh, wow. This next part tells us the adventure that Moon went on. I want you to listen closely. In 1 week, she had walked 77 miles, crossing a desert, a river, and a mountain. Doug said she was fine except for her unpleasant smell. Apparently, she had encountered a skunk on her trip. Shoo! I wonder what Doug did to help his dog Moon. Moon and Seaman's adventure are kind of alike. They both traveled west and they both encountered other animals on their adventure. Not only dogs can have adventures, let's continue to read about a cat and her adventure. Dogs aren't the only adventurous animals. Emily the cat lived in Appleton, Wisconsin. Apparently, she crept into a cargo container at the Appleton business. That just means that she crawled into a large box like the ones pictured here. These containers, they get shipped from place to place. The container was sent to Chicago and then on a boat to Belgium with Emily inside. She was spotted at a business in France. Luckily, she was wearing tags that identified her vet. ID tags can be really important so animals can find their way back to their owners. After some phone calls, Emily's relieved owners were located. An American airline shipped Emily back to Wisconsin in a seat normally reserved for people. So Emily got to sit with all the people on the plane. Do you think Emily enjoyed her trip to Europe? Why or why not? I think she enjoyed her trip. She got to travel on a boat, visit a new country, and ride on a plane. Right here on the map, you can see the United States where we live in orange. France is green right here. Emily had to travel all the way back to the United States to get home. That's a big adventure. These animals were smart, tough, and lucky. Those are good qualities for all explorers and adventurers. How are these animals smart and tough and lucky? Let's look back at some evidence and key details of how these animals were smart, tough, and lucky. How is Seaman tough? Here's Seaman. He was able to scare off the bears that came to the camp by barking. He protected all of his crew. What about Moon? What evidence shows that he was smart? It says in the text that Moon had to travel 77 miles crossing a desert, a river, and mountains to try to get home. Emily was a really lucky cat. She traveled across the sea and was lucky enough to ride on an airplane to make it home. That's pretty lucky. Today we listened and talked about our text to retell key details about the animals and their adventure. We heard about the adventures of Seaman, Moon, and Emily. Your task today is to draw and label a picture of one of these animals on its adventure. So you're going to choose one of the animals that we read about. Then I want you to write 1 or 2 sentences about the animals using the details from this story. Think back to what we talked about. When you have done that, you can move on to your extended challenge. For your extended challenge, I want you to think about a pet, or if you had a pet, what adventures would you take? I want you to tell a parent or a friend about the adventure you would like to take or an adventure that you've already taken with your pet. I am so glad that you joined me today for our learning adventure. I hope you can join next week as well. Have a great rest of your week.